Exclamation, everybody, and welcome to Darkblade Ascent. It is by PST Games, and it's currently in early access, but on Epic Games Store on EGS, and it's currently $18.99 US. There is, however, a Steam store page out there for this game, but it is marked as coming soon, so 2025. So you can wishlist it, and if you really want to, you can wait for it. I'm guessing it's kind of just like an exclusive for, timed exclusive on Epic, and then they'll probably have the full release out onto Steam next year. So it's up to you what you want to do. You want to wait for it to come out on Steam. You want to jump in early and try to get some feedback, whatever the case may be. But this is a dungeon crawling roguelite game. It looked like from the videos I was looking at, it looked like it was a first person, or maybe this was the third person one. I don't quite remember. But it definitely has like it has a bit of an Elder Scrolls feel to it as far as like the combat was going, from what I was seeing there, which it depends on how you feel about Elder Scrolls combat as to whether or not you think something good's going on here. But I want to give it a good shot, a good run, see what's going on here. It's I don't know. I couldn't figure out from the store page if there's some kind of progression from one run to the next, because that's really the thing that gets me with roguelites and roguelikes, is that each run, I feel like the more important thing is not the run, it's the progression, right? Because if your game doesn't have very good progression, then it's not gonna hold me for very long, right? Like I'm not one to just constantly repeat a particular game, over and over and over again, no matter how good the run mechanics might be. If it's just going to be, if I'm going to be reset to zero every single time. It's one of the big bugbears I've had over the years with like RTS games. As much as I loved playing, say, StarCraft 1, I did get to a point where I was just sick and tired of starting over from scratch after every mission, after every map. And the same thing is true for like Age of Empires and stuff like that. I just got really tired of starting it at zero all the time. I wanted something to progress me beyond the map, and that's probably why I like the Homeworld series so much, because it did that. It was like, everything you finished up the last map with, you take into the next map. So all that, if you held back a lot of your forces and you just kind of did what you needed to do and you build up a whole bunch of resources, all that wasn't tossed out. It just carried you into the next and then into the next and so on. So I kind of feel the same way about these types of games, but we'll have to see what this is all about, because I haven't gone past this screen at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to go full screen here for you guys, and I guess we'll put maybe 30 minutes on the clock to see what it's like, and we'll give it a good shot and see what's going on here. So without further ado, let's do a run. Okay, so we have a passive tree. Okay, so I'm seeing some progression here. That's interesting. Ooh. Do I start normal run, and then there's a gauntlet run? I see. Okay, normal run without difficulty modifiers. Okay. Alrighty then. Oop.
Executing the sinister orders of the highest bidders. You were once a name, driving dread and steel into the hearts.
It's really quiet.
Accepting this contract sealed your ruinous path.
I can't hear that either. So we're just going to kind of skip that because I can't I can't hear it. Let's go. Let's go in here. I'm sure the story is awesome and great, but you gotta have like, you gotta make sure that people can actually hear what's being said. Parry tutorial. Press right click to parry before a swing is about to hit you. If you manage to parry the attack, you gain a pushback ability. Quickly press left click after parry to riposte. Oh, well, that didn't quite work. It's very slow. Still haven't quite got the timing down on that. But leveled up. Oh, that's a different weeks firearm of steel. This is okay, something different. Let's right click, parry, yeah, that's going to be a little bit difficult for me to do, but we'll see. Okay, I can't get the, oh, there we go. So that's the R. All right. The timing for that is like super difficult. Also, there is a stamina bar. I don't know how I'm supposed to time this out. Like, there we go. Alright. Follow the wisp and choose one of the rewards. Open a way to next room. Damn near dead already. Can I pick anything else up here? Like that shield? That would have been nice. So I remapped dodge to the thumb button, and it doesn't look like it kept that. Or it did, and it's still not working. Let's see if I can... So it is very quiet for some reason. Let's turn that up. Controls. Oh, okay, so it didn't hold on to my remapping. So that's something to keep in mind. I remapped that before we started and it didn't save it. So... 10 health, increase max stamina by 10. Press right click before a spell impact to deflect. Yeah, right. I don't know. I don't know what the timing on this is supposed to be, but good God, man! Like you have to have superhuman timing there. That's just it's not great. Physical damage by weapons by 7%. All right, let's do that. Holy hell, man! Like I don't. They need some kind of indicator as to when to like actually parry or something. At least on the tutorials anyway. Like I can understand it not being in the rest of the game. Right? When you're trying to tutorialize something, you've got to be like even if they could pause the game right at the moment when you're supposed to parry, at least I'd have a visual of when I'm supposed to parry, right? Like, without that, it's frustrating because you don't know, you cannot, for the life of me, figure out the timing. Here. See, like I'm like usually too early or something. Again, when am I supposed to parry? Like, it's like my parry lasts for 0.1 second. There we go. You know what I mean? It's like, how common pheromone. Ooh. That. It's the only game I've seen where the parry is like less than a second. He barely parries anything. What the hell is going on with my... Ooh, lightning is 107? Yeah, okay. Take that. A chest back there, too. I've barely gotten even into the game here. So this thing's supposed to show me where to go, right? Oh, I guess I go right here. Increase spell deflect, increase lightning damage. Let's do lightning damage because we have a lightning sword. A lightning sword. What is that? Oh, the hell? Okay. Whoa, hello. Runny bastard. Alright, they're going to have to work on that a little bit because I'm knocking him back before I'm not even in the right path for it. Also, I feel like the timing, like I need a little bit of time. Oh, hey, Premier Craft, welcome. I feel like I need a little bit of time to like look over stuff because so that's level 3 physical damage, I think, is the one on the left. 272 to 389. But I do see this does lightning damage. I feel like 53. Yeah, I think the one I have is fine right now. Treasure chest. Not enough coin. Oh, 632 coins to open the chest. Okay. Would you ever have 632 coins at this point in the game? I must ask. I think that's something they might have to take a look at and be like, all right, we need to It's okay to have a random chest with random stuff in it, but let's make sure it's even possible. Alright, so what do we have to choose from? Increase damage with axes by 12%? No. Dodge cost, decrease dodge cost by 3. Increase lightning damage by 12%. I mean, not really dodging too much, so I might as well get, we have now 24% more lightning damage. Total here. I've got no... Damn it. Damn you. Got like no health. You have that other one run at you. Yeah. Yeah, that's a little bit, it's... I feel like there's not enough clues that something's coming at... I mean, yeah, there's sound and stuff, but... Experiencing gold gain by 5%. Max health. Physical damage. Lightning damage. Let's do... that one. I do like that I'm getting a point every time at least. So there's that. Blocking delay by 3%. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I like that there's... I like the progression so far. It's just, I don't like the... Well, I guess holding down F makes sense, but honestly, I don't like that too much. Oh, these guys are jumping out of the way now. See, I don't know how I missed that. Parry there. Okay. So you have that. I do like me to lightning damage though. I feel like that's a lot sexier. Wasn't blocking at the time. Need more time to charge out and to get into position. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just having trouble in general with the timing. It's very, very tight. Almost a little too tight. Like it needs to be, I think, a little bit more forgiving, at least at the beginning. Increase lightning damage, pushback damage, cold, lightning, and fire. I mean, sure. Okay. Let's do... Why have one element when you can have 3? See, the other thing is, too, you can see it with the deflection on the magic there, is that the perspective makes it harder to know when to parry, right? Because I was parrying those successfully, even though it looked like the fireball still had, or the magic still had a long way to go to get to me. And so that's the other kind of issue when you have something like this, is that in first person anyway, is that things look, it's like the rear view mirror problem, you know. Objects in mirror may appear closer than they really are, kind of thing. And that's the same thing here. Two 137, that's a little bit better. Okay. I don't know this game. Well, this is a brand new early access game, so on EGS. And it is a dungeon crawler. It's a roguelite, a roguelike, I guess. Dungeon crawler. And I mean, it's a first person. So it's got kind of that like I was saying, Elder Scrolls like feel to it. Though obviously monsters don't come rushing at you in Elder Scrolls games. So there's a little bit more of a mechanic there. And increase lightning damage by 34%. I mean, sure, why not? There was another door over here, though. I wanted to look down before I go through there. Is there anything down here? Huh. Okay. There's stuff down here. But, yeah, the R, like when you successfully parry, you get that R ability, and that lets you throw the enemies backwards. And then I also have this Q ability, which I haven't used yet, that charges up. I should probably use. Yeah, so I have a fireball. Which I need to actually hit him on the riposte. There we go. There's a level up. Let's see how well these guys deal with stairs. Alright, that's one way to get them to line up for me. Okay, is there anything else? No. You don't heal over time because, like any roguelike, I assume there will be healing spots, maybe? And maybe there's like an upgrade that will let you heal or something, but usually for these games, like, you carry your health all the way through, and the whole idea is to keep a watchful eye on the health and not let it go completely down. Fire damage, spears, 23%, spell deflect by 50%. Let's do a spell deflect, I guess. Some gold. Yeah. Oh, you got me that time. Okay. Okay. So the enemies do have a tell, which is good as to when you should block. That you have to learn, which is fine. I'm all for that. It's just, even when you learn it, it takes a little bit of effort because there's a lot of like flourishes when they're doing a flourish like that. It's like at a certain point in the flourish you have to get to. Oh, we got this guy coming for us. Well, that fireball is pretty useful. I generally don't like games that use a stamina bar. This one so far has been okay-ish because everything is kind of it's not really, it's not, I mean, it's action RPG kind of, but everything's got a very slow pace. The combat is, because I always, the way I always look at it, stamina bars are a admission by the developers that they don't know how to make their game difficult. I've always looked at it that way. I've always looked at it as just they don't understand how to do a difficult game, so they've just put a stamina bar in there. Or they played a Souls-like at some point and they thought, oh, this is, everybody likes these, we must put a stamina bar in here. And I've never felt any different about that. Like, I always feel like the worst thing you can do is make your game slower. Right? I prefer, because here's the thing, I play games to be a badass, and how many badasses do you know move like a freaking turtle? You know what I mean? It's like, the point is, like, yeah, you start out slow, but then you get really fast and you start to really just rock all the enemies and stuff and just be a god among men. And a stamina bar is just kind of it's conceit. It's a, we could have done a D20 system, but instead we just threw this arbitrary bar in your face and are making you deal with it. And it's just like, I've never quite been a fan of it. Some games do it well, some games don't do it well. This game so far, it's tolerable, so I'm okay with it. But, especially if the stamina bar goes down when you're running or something like that. Like, what's the point of stopping the player from running? If they want to run through your entire game, then let them run through your entire game. Like, it's their enjoyment, it's a weird thing. Choose 2 upgrades for your class. Impact damage is fireball damage. Hitting an enemy with fireball causes your next melee attack to deal 200% more damage. cooldown. Well, we'll do cooldown. And 2 projectiles in quick succession. We'll do next hit. Sure. Fire damage, spell deflect, and another one of these. 5% increase on all of those. So we'll do the 5% increase on all of those. Oop, and we're into level 2. Right. Got him. Oh, he put his shield up. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Damn. That one sucks compared to what I've got. Okay. When the old Skyrim was around on PC, it was yeah. I just, you know, like I said, some games can do the stamina bar well, and some games don't. Well, most games don't, but it's a very difficult mechanic to use, and it's not really necessary if you do things. If you do it right, it's not necessary to have. Increase max health by 10. I don't know if that's going to help me now. Increase fire damage. I guess we'll do dodge, even though I haven't really dodged yet. Didn't know there was a character limit on YouTube. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Oh, this other guy came out of nowhere and hit me. Well, that was a thing. That was a thing. What do we got? So we didn't quite level up on experience. We did get a point, though. So that was pretty good. Max stamina by 10. Lightning damage, cold damage. Increased damage with swords by 7%. Damage with spears. What do I have here? Just physical damage. Okay. With weapons by 7%. Damage with swords by 7%. Axes. Fire damage. I guess swords would make sense for this character. Huh. And then, when do you unlock? I guess... Yeah, when do you unlock the next... Like the Stormcaller or the Frostweaver? That's what I'm wondering. Alright, well... I mean, that was 30 minutes. I think we can see what the game is all about from that 30 minutes. I'm curious about the roadmap here. New weapon line, daggers. 3 new maps. A new class, survivor mode. Traps and environmental hazards. and then quality of life improvements with controller support and things like that. So yeah, I mean, we're at version 0.774 here, and it's okay. Like I said, I could see the progression, and it's fine. I don't know that. I'm a little bit concerned with the progression because it's very, very simple. And there's not a whole, like, on the one hand, I like that, yes, every run is making you more powerful. That's almost a given for a roguelike. Like it's almost an absolute necessity. The problem is you get a particularly talented, person, especially someone who's maybe done Souls-like games or something like that, who plays those. They don't need very many of those upgrades before they get through the entire game, and then what? Right? Like, the progression is fine, but it feels like it needs something else. I've seen ones that do sort of like a town building kind of thing where you have like traders that you get gold at the end of a run, and then that you can buy like a merchant stand, and then that brings a trader in, and then you've got like different weapons you can start a run with and stuff like that. Here you're starting always with that first weapon. You're almost immediately getting a new weapon drop that's really good. So you're kind of just paint by numbers at that point. And then it's just, yeah, I feel like the progression that's here is fine, and it's something that I would expect out of a game like this. But you really want to kind of put something else there to kind of keep people coming back for more, because once you've had a decent run, or a very particularly good run, like, it feels like this game has a limited number of runs before you're just like, all right, I'm done. Like a very limited number, because there's not a whole lot else just kind of drawing you in. So I hope that they can kind of work on, try to come up with something that sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? That something that is more of a hook. I think there's definitely hooky things here about, like doing different runs and trying to get as far as you can. And that is certainly good. There's nothing wrong with what's here now. But it's aging like milk every run, right? It's like it's getting old fast. And once you get to a point where you're like, oh, okay, I've seen what I need. I've got what I want out of this. You're pretty much done, and there's no real reason to come back. So it would be nice to see something else in that realm of like, yeah, we want to, some other kind of progression mechanic, or maybe there's lore bits around that you have to get to, and make a decent, compelling lore to the game. That'd be good. Yeah, like Premier saying, like a storyline. There is like that cutscene at the beginning seemed good, except I couldn't hear it, so I skipped it because I couldn't hear what was being said. There were no subtitles on it, so if there were, even if I couldn't hear it, if there were subtitles on it, I could at least read what was being said, but there was none of that yet. And I get it, it's early, but all that stuff goes into the first impression. All that stuff goes into what hooks a player, and you really like there's a good foundation here, and there's a good you've got some good ideas. It's just it's you've checked off the boxes, but you haven't added any of your own. There's no personality here. There's nothing here that kind of makes you think back and go, oh yeah, I remember that game. That game was really, really cool. Like, you know, once somebody plays this game through, they're probably going to forget it even exists in its current state, obviously. So it's just like one of those things where it's just like, be memorable, do interesting stuff, have some interesting mechanics. You know, don't just check off a few boxes and be like, well, we got ourselves a roguelike. You know, it's like, you really need to figure out what you want to do as far as the progression and stuff. I think that's the big thing right now, at least for my opinion. But others may have others. And as always, that's kind of my thoughts right now on Darkblade Ascent. You can go take a look. It's in early access on Epic Games Store. It's currently $19 US over there, and it does have a Steam store page. You can wishlist it over on Steam. It's scheduled for 2025 release over there, so my guess is they're doing an exclusive thing with Epic for however many months, and then they'll be able to release on Steam. I imagine probably by that point it'll be fully released, probably, and they'll be doing the full release on Steam, whatever the case may be. So it's up to you whether you want to get in early, take a look at it over on Epic Games Store, or whether you want to wait for it to come out on Steam and see what it shapes up to be. But as always, I'll leave all those links in the description of the video, so you can go do your own due diligence. And for those on stream, hang on. We're going to do some more games. But for those of you who are watching the recording, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.